I want to talk about what the deep state actually is. And I talk about these things. I've been saying this stuff for 30-something years on a level what most people wouldn't recognize as being correct or existent. They would say, no, none of that stuff is actually happening. An example of that would be, in the early 2000s, I was like, yeah, there's censorship going on. Everywhere. The Democrats are censoring everybody, and the Catholics are censoring everybody, and they're the same. The Democrats and the Catholics have the same idea of what should be censored, and the response people would have would be like, "This is America. There's no censorship in America." I go, "What are you talking about? Are you ridiculous? I just told you the Democrats and the Catholics are censoring everybody everywhere all the time. If you're too, ignorant to realize that." That's you being ignorant, and if I'm mentioning it to you, and you're telling me, "Well, this is America, so there's no censorship here," you're just like really dumb, and that's like most people, almost all people would have that response. I think it's just ridiculous to respond that way. If I'm like saying there's massive censorship going on, and your response is, "This is America, we don't have censorship," it's like an insult. It's like, what do you think? I'm stupid? I'm mistaken? What's wrong with you? Are you ridiculous? But the same censorship is going on, and it's not like just the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, although they're involved. It's not just the tech companies, although they're involved. It's the individual people. It's most people. So when you talk about the deep state, and the reason why Catholics and Democrats laugh at the idea, they are the deep state. It's the busybody gossipers. It's the common people. If you think about the days of Noah, these are the days of Noah. That's not where everybody's good people. That's what you hear from these people. They go, "Oh, yeah, these are the days of Noah." But it's good to know that most people are good. These are the days of Noah. Most people are dishonest and superficial and complicit. And complicity is something that the Antichrist church is trying to say. There's no complicity. Just follow Jesus and love him. So you don't have to worry about the murder and the theft and the lies because, we killed Jesus. So now it's grace. That's the religion of the Catholics, and that's the deep state. The deep state is the regular Catholics everywhere. And I can go into more details about how vulgar and pernicious these people are. It's really the wealthy, narcissistic perverts are they're just violating the people. That's what gets them, that's what makes them feel good. And people don't understand, the level of egregious, abuse these people commit. It's so over the line. People say, "No, nobody does these things." I'll give you an example. I saw two people working. It was at a disabled people's place, and they were putting these kids in a minivan, and the kids were all drugged up. You can tell they're all they're medicated, and they would be probably normal kids, but they got these kids medicated, and they're putting them in. And the two people saw me watching them, and they got spooked. They knew that they were doing something wrong, okay? These two people, I can tell, the kind of people they were. They're the little hat people, if you know what I'm saying. That's who it was. It was a guy and a woman, probably married couple, okay? And this is their job, and they're really being abusive to these kids. I guarantee you that. So what happened is I decided to follow them. And I followed them for 3 hours. I was in Western Massachusetts. I followed up to upstate New York. I think it's LaGrange. But I'm going 110 miles down the highway following these people. So they knew I was following them, and they wouldn't call the police. They were, doing something amiss. They wouldn't be traveling that fast, to get away. They would just call the police. It's a very simple thing to do. If I'm following them because I knew something was up with how they were acting, what they were doing. And you can think "Oh, that's nothing. There's nothing like that going on." Oh, that's not true at all, because I can give you 10 other examples of very clearly criminal activity going on, even to the point where it's the whole city where I was living, the whole county, actually, I would say. And I'm pretty sure that it's like a New England town where with the age of 40, everybody joins the cult at the age of 40. And I'll say it like this because I knew 50 different people from all different walks of life over there, and all of them turned into super shady people after the age of 40. Now that we're all older, we all grew up. When they were younger, it was normal people. But when they're passing the age of 40, I think they're joining a cult. Particularly because one of these people I knew, he was telling me about his sister. His sister died. Oh, she was a good person. She shouldn't have died. Blah, blah, blah. And he kept bringing it up repeatedly. And she died at 40. So I think he's saying that he's in a cult. He's part of it because he's a total shady guy. All of the people I knew there are shady. Absolutely the worst kind of shadiness. It's like completely Nathaniel Hawthorne, horror story shadiness. And there's all kinds of stuff going on over there. And another example is my mother had her Social Security stolen. And it's the Social Security office people, and all of them are in on it. And it's not only everybody in the office is in on it, everybody in the city government is in on it. Because the police didn't want me to uncover, like the people in the Social Security office didn't want me to uncover the fact that they were robbing my mother's, taking her money. And they gave me fake documents, okay? They gave me fake documents. So if they're giving me fake documents, they're covering the fact that, they're embezzling money. But the police would harass me. I couldn't go through town. They're just like writing me tickets. They're, throwing me in jail. They're doing all kinds of stuff at the behest of these people. And what the police were doing was illegal, and they knew it. And that's the police everywhere. So when you talk about the deep state, it's just the regular people. And like I said, it's why the Catholics and Democrats, they laugh at the idea because the deep state is they themselves. They are the ones. They're there to exploit whatever they can at whatever opportunity. And you got to think about how much abuse government school boards have. Like you sit there in Michigan, they had 240 people at the faculty, and they were spying on the kids through the web, through the laptops that they handed out. And they didn't tell the kids and the parents that they had laptop cameras that were activated, and the teachers could spy on the kids. And obviously these are really shady people. So you look at, those are the kind of people that the corporate machine, this corporate evil machine, that's the public and private, it's one group of evil people. There's no difference between corporate and government. They only want these kind of people in any position of power. And companies like Google and Indeed, they're blacklisting anybody who has integrity. Anybody who has integrity. So that's why you see such toxicity in the workforce. You're like, what is going on in these places? Because it's just a charade. The whole economy is a charade. It's like in communist Soviet Union, they were just pretending to be, doing things. Meanwhile, they were just rounding up people and killing them. That's the same as the Catholics in America. That's the same, they're pretending to be working, but they're actually just rounding up people and killing them. That's what they're looking to do. And guys like Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard, they don't have another perspective in life. Their religion is the same as the Catholics. It's kind of like you go along to get along. You appease the warlords. You worship Baal. Whatever the master says. You don't mess with the mafia. That was Tulsi Gabbard's position. That was Kash Patel's position. Now that they're with Trump, they're going to be different? No, they're just running the course and saying, hey, look, you can pretend to be because this is Kash Patel talking to Donald Trump. He's like, you're the best. You're a champion. That's just the CIA playing, mind games with him. And they're going to tell him whatever he needs to hear, and they're going to run the course the same way the deep state does everywhere, which is, it's the common people. That's the days of Noah. That's what we're living in.